A rich learning experience is a factor of students' attitudes, beliefs, and feelings that determine their motivation to learn. It also includes their ability to set goals and achieve them, access knowledge, and utilize it correctly. From this presentation, you learn how to create learning activities that have a specific, measurable, relevant, and timely impact on learning. Impactful learning activities are created from specific learning outcomes to help achieve specific learning objectives. Hi, I'm Betty, a teacher trainer, edtech specialist. I've been in the education industry for over 15 years. I'm excited to tell you why I believe creating impactful learning activities sparks a learner's curiosity and leads to self discovery and eventual mastery of skills. So, what's a specific learning outcome? It's a statement that defines the expected knowledge, skills, and attitudes that a learner should have at the end of a learning activity or program. A specific learning outcome should describe what a learner is expected to be able to do, understand, or demonstrate after completing a specific learning experience. This presentation references the Kenyan competency based curriculum designed for grade 7 with home science as a subject of choice. The grade 7 home science curriculum is divided into four strands, namely foods and nutrition, with three substrands broken into 33 lessons, consumer education, with one substrand broken into six lessons, textiles and clothing, with three substrands broken into 32 lessons, and household and cleaning agents, with three substrands broken into 19 lessons. We'll focus on textiles and clothing, and the substrand is the sewing machine as indicated in this image. The specific learning outcome is highlighted in yellow and should read as follows. By the end of the substrand, the learner should be able to prepare a sewing machine for basic straight stitching. The suggested learning experiences for this learning outcome are also highlighted in yellow and should read as follows. The learner is guided to prepare a sewing machine for basic stitching by carrying out the upper and lower threading, winding the bobbin, and placing the needle. The rest of the stipulated learning experiences are relevant to another learning outcome rather than what we are focusing on. Let's first break down the learning outcome into key components that will help in creating meaningful learning activities. The first component is the action verb that describes what is to be done. In this case, it is the word prepare. In our learning outcome, according to the Oxford Online Dictionary, to prepare means to make something ready for use or consideration. It also means to make someone ready or able to do or deal with something. The suggested synonyms for the verb prepare are to make ready, assemble, put together, and so on. The second component is the subject content, and in this case, it is a sewing machine for basic straight stitching. Knowledge necessary to prepare a sewing machine includes knowing what it is, why it is a noteworthy investment, what to consider when buying one, the parts of a sewing machine, the types of machine stitches, and how to troubleshoot any machine faults. The third component of a specific learning outcome is the level of achievement. In our case, the rubric stipulated in the curriculum outlines the levels of achievement for this particular learning outcome. These levels are highlighted in yellow in this image. For the below expectation indicator on the rubrics, the teacher can identify a struggling learner and help them prepare a sewing machine. Rubrics serve as a guide when creating learning activities that address different learning abilities. Here are some of the questions to explore when creating learning activities from the action verb in the specific learning outcome. You could ask, what attitudes is a learner expected to have to achieve the learning outcome? In our example, the learner should overcome any fear and develop personal skills in the ability to operate a sewing machine. Another question to ponder would be the action verb's meaning, which we have already looked at. The third question is what meaning or synonyms best describe the learning activity. For example, In our learning outcome, making ready would be good choices for preparing a sewing machine for basic straight stitching. Other questions include time allocated for the learning outcome and diverse learners' abilities. Time allocated will dictate the number of learning activities, their intensity, and how to execute them, either in groups or per individual learner. The availability of learning resources also impacts the time and learning methods employed, be it visual, auditory, writing, or kinesthetic. This also impacts the nature of learning resources and their availability. Let's look at some learning activities deduced from the assembling and preparing the sewing machine. The activities are anchored on the following expected learner abilities. One, the ability to observe safety measures and apply the correct posture when preparing a sewing machine. Second, the ability to identify and know the functions of the sewing machine. Their ability to wind a bobbin is a third. The fourth, the ability to carry out upper and lower threading of the machine. Fifth, the ability to interlock the upper and lower threads. Sixth, the ability to regulate the upper and lower thread tension. And seven, the ability to identify and remedy sewing machine faults. Some of the suggested activities will require each learner to practice independently, such as the winding of the bobbin, threading of the machine, and troubleshooting of machine faults. The learning activities require self regulation of the learner, recalling information, comprehending and correctly applying knowledge, and mental and physical abilities. If the school does not have adequate machines for independent learning, the teacher can create after school activities where a learner accesses learning resources from other experts, such as practicing tailors and fashion designers in the marketplace. In this case, the teacher would need an evidence based assessment method, such as videos taken by the learner during their extension learning activities. Learners with physical challenges such as poor motor skills, hearing, and sight will need special learning activities created specifically for them. The teacher needs to know how to assess each learner using available assessment metrics. Assessment must be indicated for each activity as guided by the rubrics. The curriculum suggests specific assessment methods for lessons in each strand. Some of these methods are rating scales, rubrics, anecdotal records, oral questions, projects, portfolio assessment, observation schedules, project work, and practical work. In our specific learning outcome, the teacher can opt for rubrics as earlier highlighted, oral questions to gauge the learner's knowledge level, observation schedules for practical work, and portfolios for physical or digital projects. That marks the end of our presentation. Do you have any questions or comments? Kindly indicate them below. Bye.